What toxic family tradition did you break that cost you everything? My family runs a successful funeral home and business for 4 generations. Every male heir has to participate in what my grandfather calls the blessing ritual, where we take wedding rings and expensive jewelry from bodies before burial and sell them to supplement our income. The family justified it by saying the dead don't need material possessions, and the extra money helps us provide better services. My grandfather built our family fortune this way and expected me to continue the tradition when I inherited the business. Every funeral meant thousands in stolen jewelry that families never knew was missing. My first day stealing, I watched my father remove a diamond ring from a dead woman while her daughter sat crying in the next room. When I hesitated, he grabbed my hand and forced me to pull the ring off myself. He whispered, "This is how we survive," while the family planned the funeral outside our door. My father always volunteered for night shifts to avoid witnesses. One evening, I came back for my wallet and found him training our new assistant how to remove jewelry without leaving marks. The assistant was uncomfortable, but my father offered him extra money to stay quiet. I started noticing my father would study families during consultations before the person even died. He kept a notepad where he'd write descriptions. My grandfather showed me ledgers going back decades with detailed records of stolen items. When I asked about returning pieces if families asked, he laughed and said, "Dead people don't file police reports." The system expanded when my uncle joined as our accountant. He started inflating funeral bills to hide jewelry profits, charging families extra for services that didn't exist. A grieving widow would pay thousands for premium body preparation that covered the cost of her husband's stolen watch. My father began targeting elderly clients by offering discounted services, knowing they often wore expensive wedding rings and family heirlooms. He'd market to immigrant families because language barriers made them less likely to question missing items or challenge our bills. I watched my father comfort Mrs. Garcia during her husband's funeral planning while noting that she wore a valuable pearl necklace. 3 days later, he removed those same pearls from her husband's body during preparation. She never knew he'd requested to be buried wearing her gift. The operation got sophisticated when my father started researching families online before they contacted us. He'd look up social media profiles and obituary photos to identify expensive jewelry in advance. My cousin started working with us last summer, and I watched my father teach him the same techniques. The 15-year-old was nervous but excited about the money. My father told him, "This stays in the family," and gave him his first stolen ring to practice removing. During the Williams funeral, I saw my father slip a military ring off the veteran's finger while the man's son stood adjusting flowers. The son had mentioned how proud he was that his father wanted to be buried wearing his service ring. My father started teaching my cousin advanced techniques like photographing bodies before removing jewelry and positioning hands to hide missing items during viewings. I went along with it for 12 years until Mrs. Liu's funeral last month. Her granddaughter requested that her grandmother be buried with the antique wedding ring that survived 3 wars and represented 5 generations of love. I watched my father slip it off her finger during preparation, while the family grieved in the next room. When the granddaughter came for the final viewing, she broke down crying because the ring was gone. She begged us to search everywhere thinking it had fallen off. My father stood there comforting her and promising to keep looking while the $15,000 ring sat in his jacket pocket. That night, I walked into his office and placed every piece of stolen jewelry from the past year on his desk, telling him I was returning everything to families.